Hey, what's up everybody? The third and final selection box is here for the month of October, and in this video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about this last selection box. To start things off, this event is going to end on October the 30th, so you still have a little bit of time to try to get one of these Tsums if you're interested. And this selection box will have a total of 12 different Tsums, starting with Charm Sly Captain Hook, Dark Fairy Maleficent, Evil Mother Gothel, Horned King, Jafar Genie, Big Bad Wolf, Zurg, Salazar, Gantu, Scar, Honest John, and Gideon. I was really personally excited about this selection box because there were two Tsums in here that I haven't maxed out yet. So that's going to be Salazar and Horned King. And these two Tsums are actually not too bad. Both of these Tsums are going to be in the top 100. Now, if you are looking for Tsums that are good for missions, you pretty much have 2 to 3 options. If you are looking for a Tsum that's going to be good for long chain mission, you definitely want to get Dark Fairy Maleficent. The ability for Dark Fairy Maleficent is relatively easy to use and you can get a really long chain. And Horned King is a close second, but the ability is a little bit more difficult and I feel like the Tsums aren't as close to one another, so it's a little bit more difficult to make long chains. So if you are looking for a long chain mission, then you definitely want to get either Dark Fairy Maleficent or Horned King. Now, if you are looking for a Tsum that's going to be good for combo missions as well as a bubble maker, then you definitely want to get Sly Captain Hook, and this is going to be a charm version. He is really good for both of these missions. And before I go any further, if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, or go over the selection box and pickup capsules, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription is greatly appreciated. And if you guys are looking for a community of Tsum Tsum players, you might also be interested in my Discord server. On the Discord server, you can ask for help, trade hearts, discuss different characters to use, strategies, or just talk about the game in general. You can scan this QR code on the screen to join the Discord server. I will also have invite links in the video description down below as well. Alright, now let's talk a little bit more about the coin earnings in this selection box. 5 out of 12 of these Tsums are going to be in the top 100, so I recommend you to spend a little bit more coins to invest in this selection box if you are looking for a coin earner. None of these are going to be in the top 10, but there are some good ones in here and they're relatively easy to use as well. So let's go into my top 3 picks. Coming in the number 3 spot, and that's going to be Evil Mother Gothel. Evil Mother Gothel is a Tsum that is really easy to use. During the ability time, the screen won't freeze, so all you really need to do is keep pressing the ability button and using that overcharge, and activate as many abilities per game as much as possible. And you don't really need to set up the screen because it's going to be just 2 big circles that will go around the screen and clears a bunch of Tsums. And Evil Mother Gothel does also earn a relatively good amount of coins. For my coin earnings or coin rankings, I have her placed at the number 47 spot. And when you factor in how easy it is to use her, I definitely think that she is a viable Tsum to use as a coin earner if you don't have one of the top 10 Tsums. Alright, now moving on to my number 2 pick. And in the number 2 spot, that's going to be Gideon. Similarly, Gideon is also a Tsum that is really easy to use. His ability essentially will guarantee you the exact same amount of Tsums that will clear, with the exception if you have a big Tsum on the screen, then it's going to clear a little bit more. But Gideon is a really consistent Tsum that will clear the same amount of Tsums every single time you activate his ability, and because of that, you can actually use Gideon to earn a good amount of coins. In terms of coin rankings, I do have Gideon ranked at number 28, so a very viable Tsum to use to earn coins. And because Gideon is a really easy Tsum to use, it's also very beginner friendly. So if you are just coming back to the game recently or is new to the game, Gideon is not a bad option for you to use because he's very beginner friendly, not a lot of thinking. You're always going to get the same amount of clears every single time, earning you a really good amount of coins. At the end of this gameplay, I ended up with 4,714 coins, so pretty high up there. Usually when you get more than 4,000, it's a good sign that the Tsum is going to be pretty good. Alright, now moving on to my number 1 pick. And in this selection box, in the number 1 spot, I have Charm Sly Captain Hook. Charm Sly Captain Hook is also one of those Tsums that's really easy to use, and I already mentioned earlier, Captain Hook or Sly Captain Hook Charm is also a really good Tsum for bubble missions as well as combo missions. So he's also really good for coins. So if you want to use a Tsum that's going to earn you a lot of coins and it's also good for missions, you definitely want to get this Tsum right here. His ability is really easy to use as well, and there's many components to his ability. Every single time you activate his ability, you're guaranteed at the very minimum 2 bubbles, and usually if you have him at a higher skill level, you're going to get 3 bubbles, and just depending on what your skill level is going to be, you're going to generate different type of bubbles. And because this is going to be a charm Tsum, you're going to be able to activate a lot more abilities per game, and it's going to be easier for you to connect chains. So for that reason, that's why I ranked Charm / Captain Hook in my number 1 spot. And I have him ranked at the number 17 spot. So if you need a really good coin earner that's good for bubble missions and combo missions, you definitely don't want to miss out. He's ranked in the number 17 spot, so definitely try to get 1 copy of him if you can. Now there is one Tsum in here that I didn't mention in the top 3, but it's also a good option if you are a really fast player. And that Tsum is going to be Dark Fairy Maleficent. Now if you are a really fast player, you definitely can get a lot of coins using Dark Fairy Maleficent because her ability will clear surrounding Tsums as well. So making that you're always going to be generating a large chain every single time you clear a long chain with Dark Fairy Maleficent. So if you are a player that could play really fast and also could spot chains really quickly, then you might want to consider getting Dark Fairy Maleficent. And again, she's also really good for long chains as well, so you can get a good amount of coins using Dark Fairy Maleficent. For my gameplay here, I only ended up with 3,595 points, or coins I mean, but if you look at the gameplay, I do play a little bit slower than usual. So if you are a fast player, again, you could definitely get into the 4,000, even the 5,000 mark. So it's very viable if you are a fast player. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have gameplays for all 12 of these Tsums. So if you're curious about what the animations look like or how they perform in my gameplays, go ahead and check out the timelines down below and scroll on ahead, or use the video description down below and click on the timestamp. That's going to take you directly to the Tsum that you're curious about. So that's my review of this 3rd and final selection box. I'm likely going to have leak information in the next couple of days. So if you're curious about what we're going to get in the month of November, definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.